准确。 Hello Hello， 晚上好。
Hello.
Hello, we're here.
We're here, and it's a new launch stream, the most exciting ones. We're here to talk about Rise Up, but before we jump into that, I want to talk about, well, the anniversary season, and just say a big thank you to everybody that participated, that gave feedback, that sent in photos.
那现在先
That was
说
just part
10
of
周
it. We
年活动。
celebrated 10 years of the division. That was quite a milestone, and I'm very excited that we all got to celebrate it together. So thank you. I'm here with Leo. Maybe you should say hi too.
Hi, I'm Leo. It's not April's Fool. This stream is for real.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah, we're here. I saw
that-
some people in the chat saying, "Oh, when the timer goes off, like, yeah, there's no stream." No, there's a stream. We're gonna be here for quite a while. We have a packed stream to go through.
Yeah. On that note, though, I hope you guys saw the audio update. Our new audio director Wilhelm, he worked so hard on it. So if you enjoyed it, then go show him some love on there. But jokes aside, we have a packed schedule. So let's get on it. First, the agenda for today. Obviously, we will cover everything new season Rise Up, but we also have classified assignments return. This is the first time they're back since year one. It's the first time that we're going to be entering the Library of Congress. We also have Escalation, which is a new, providing new difficulty tiers. So this is increasing the ceiling of endgame. And together with that a bit, we have Prototype Gear, which is a new rarity. On seasonal content, the Black Tusk enters Retaliation, and they come with elite kill squads. We have new modifiers, new seasonal gear, and after we wrap up the stream, don't drop out because the Resurgence team will talk about their new game that just launched. So stay tuned for that. And yeah.
What a
Let's
week
get
to be an
started.
agent! Like we have Rise Up season coming to Division 2. Resurgence was launched yesterday. So yeah, we're super excited. And to kick things off, we're going to invite here to our stream our dear guest directly from Bucharest, Alexandru Birzanu, our game director. And wait a minute. Now we can hear you. Hello, Alex.
Hey there, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
We
Yes,
can.
all good. How's it going?
Awesome. Hi there, agents. Good. I'm super excited to talk about the new season. You've got a lot of material over there. I also have some notes. Apologies if I look down every now and then. It's a packed season, everybody. It's really a lot. But thank you for having me, and I can't wait to delve in.
Yeah, and you
Also,
mentioned a packed
Jason
season,
Nero,
and one of the main message that we've been sharing so far is that we are raising the challenge. So from a game director perspective, what does that mean to you and to your team when approaching the creation of this season?
Right. So Rise Up is a very special season for us. Throughout year 7, and even before that, we concentrated on adding new content, adding new experiences. That was for like all of our players. With Rise Up specifically, we wanted to up the challenge for the players that can right now clear heroic without batting an eye or legendary, while also giving players that already have everything something to chase for. And we tied these two systems together. And this was the main principle of the season.
Really cool. And we will jump into all seasonal stuff in just a bit. But first, we're going to cover classified assignments that we're adding this season. So the narrative arc is the mystery of the lost agents. And you track anomalies on the SHD network to locate missing division agents. So assignments are a bit more interconnected in this mode. So you have a crisis, you investigate, and it's all part of a bigger storyline. And as mentioned, the first mission, the first classified assignments will take us to Library of Congress. So it's called Library of Congress Retrieval. And you will protect the natural archives from the true sons. So Library of Congress, how did the team decide for this mission space?
Right. First of all, agents, we're getting new missions. I promised we had something cool to show you today, so I really hope your eyes are glued to the screen. Now, with the first classified assignment, it was a really interesting experiment. Thank you to the team from Ubisoft Reflections for all of your hard work. It was interesting to work on a real-life location. It's almost one-to-one, not entirely, but if you've actually visited this place in real life, you'll be able to recognize a lot of the elements. The team also played a lot with the lighting in this level. I think it's going to create an interesting ambience that we haven't quite seen that much before. And I don't know if we should mention this specifically, but we have some agents that also like to play detective. So with these classified assignments, I wish you good hunting, agents.
Exciting. The next one that will come a little bit later this season, May 12th to be exact, is Capital Globe Offices. And here you infiltrate Outcast Toxic Printing Operation. So both classified assignment 1 and 2 will have 5 voice collectibles with mixed difficulty on how to get. And the final reward is an echo puzzle that requires logic and thinking.
Yeah, and suddenly I'm super loud here. And the idea of this season is also to increase the replayability of classified assignments. This is something new. As Anais mentioned before, we brought them in year 1. Now we are in year 8, and we want them to be more replayable. So we are increasing the replayability by taking off the weekly cooldown that we had before. Now everybody can play right after that, like a regular mission. After you're done, you can replay it. And we updated as well the other classified assignments to make sure that the checkpoint logic fits what we already have right now for the heroic difficulty. The goal here is to have, as we mentioned, 2 classified assignments per season. That's what we're going to aim. And we're going to have an integrated target loot rotation starting in season 1.2. The reward. So what we can say about the reward. So there will be a backpack trophies themed around conspiracy motive. So we're going to see in a bit. Yeah, this is the backpack trophy for the first classified assignment. Very, very cool. And also we have gameplay rewards. So when you kill the boss of the classified assignments, there will be a named item dropped. And those items will be, yep, we can see the weapon from the first one. And those items will be available later through other ways in the game as well.
Yes, so you might wonder how to get them. Well, first off, you need to be level 30 for them to unlock, and they will appear on the map once available. You can buy them individually, and then they're 500 premium credits, but they're also included in the updated Premium Pass bundle. So this now includes the classified assignments instead of the usual 500 premium credits that is included, but we will go into detail to that when we go to the Premium Passes section.
All right, so classified assignments will be the first one will be available tomorrow, and tomorrow we also have the beginning of the new season, which brings new features, and we are going to talk now about Escalation. So it's a new difficulty tier that we have, a new way to replay the missions. We are expanding the ceiling of the end game, and this is a tougher combat for all players that reached level 40 and are now playing in the end game of Division 2. So this is a feature that will stay after the end of this season. It's not only for this season, but we're going to have throughout permanently to the game. And basically it's going to take the players in a weekly basis to different missions, strongholds from the base game and from the DLCs. The idea is to expand this playlist in the future as well. So every Tuesday you're used to the vendor refresh, every Tuesday the projects refresh. On Tuesdays we're going to have the refresh of the playlist of the missions you can play on Escalation, and there are 10 tiers of Escalation, and each tier brings different rewards. Obviously as harder they get, better the rewards. You can access everything through the Escalation menu in the base of operation close to the countdown vendor. All right, Alex, Escalation, it's not only new difficulty, we're bringing mutators. What can you tell us about what is a mutator and how players will feel them in the game?
Sure thing, Leo. So I'm super happy that we got to bring Escalation into the game, first of all. Now, as we were developing it, just adding increased stats to enemy felt a bit repetitive. Sure, we're gonna have a playlist of missions, like Leo mentioned, 5 of them each week to keep things fresh. But in order to create a bit more variety, we came up with this notion of mutators. Think of them as kind of a seasonal modifier, except it's unique to Escalation. You've got mutators that help enemies regenerate. You've got that mutator that shoots fire bullets and ignites you every now and then. And you also have Hotfoot, which basically, as you stand still, it fills up a bar. Should that bar fill up completely, you get shocked. Now, strictly on the Hotfoot discussion, yes, we have nerfed it. The bar will decrease slower. Yes, it will also decrease slower. Did I say increase first time? So it will increase slower, but it will also decrease slower. And I'm happy to report you will be able to revive a fellow agent without the bar filling up completely.
Yeah, so as Alex mentioned, we're going to have those mutators in Escalation. As you go progressing through the tiers, you're going to have more mutators. They're going to be tied to the tiers, so we're going to learn when they are on or not. And do you have any favorite of those? Because you mentioned Hotfoot, but do you have anyone that is like your favorite that you think that this is a good challenge for our players?
So I don't want to sound mean in any way, but Hotfoot is my my particular favorite one, specifically because it makes us play in new ways. We're so used to just standing in cover, the enemy shoots, then after they're done, then you shoot. Hotfoot works specifically against that, right? It makes you move. It makes you have to abandon cover. And with the increased lethality, right, positioning outside of cover becomes even more important. You have to be on your toes constantly. So I really like what we did with Hotfoot. Not to the extreme that it was in the PTS, but I think it's in a solid place right now, and it gives for an interesting experience.
Yeah, so again, Hotfoot was adjusted based on the PTS feedback, and we are excited to see what you guys think tomorrow when you will be able to play. So talking about Escalation as a whole, like we have, Escalation is a huge addition. So we are bringing 10 difficulty tiers, no checkpoints, new mutators. What core goal did Escalation serve in the broader endgame vision?
Right, so we saw from a majority of from a section of the player base that they no longer felt challenged while playing the division, and I think that's a pity because it can lead to boredom. Escalation was designed specifically to up that challenge. I think right now, even after tier 5, it becomes way more challenging than legendary, right? So you can really push your builds to the maximum and test your might as it was.
Yes, and this is a challenge that you can play solo or in a group, depending on how you want to approach each tier. So matchmaking is based on tier rather than specific mission. And once inside a mission, matchmaking turns off, so it's invite only. And some group rules. So party leader selects the tier and spends the tokens. Leader earns the main token rewards. And all players get a standard reward plus smaller share of token rewards.
I feel that we need to touch on the tokens because that's something that we haven't covered yet. That is the fact that to play Escalation, you need to put some tokens in. The first few first tiers are for free, but you're kind of gambling. Like if you put more, you're going to get a higher tier and then you're going to get better tokens. And if you fail, you lose all of them. So it's basically a new currency. And I would like to understand from you, Alex, what was the rationale behind the scenes when the team decided to add a new currency-based progression to the system, to the Escalation?
Don't we all just like new currency in the division? But I'm joking. So with Escalation, we also found out that having some sort of risk to your run added to the challenge. Now we do have a timer, but that timer is for edge cases and to make sure that the server stays healthy. It's not necessarily to challenge players. Sure, if you're playing ultra slow, the timer will be a challenge. But the main risk reward system that we wanted out of Escalation were these particular tokens. So right now you have to figure out how strong your build is, when to push for higher tiers, and when it's maybe safer to farm at the lower tiers. And let's say that later down the line, throughout season 1, you'll be able to use those tokens in some other means.
Cool. Back to matchmaking. If you're not level 40, because this is for veteran players, this is for hardcore players. So if you're not level 40, you will get kicked out, right? You're not allowed to test this out just yet.
I have a special note on this. So
Yeah.
we've noticed after the PTS a couple of exploits or edge cases that could put server stability in danger, particularly when high-level players could matchmake with low-level players. So right now, there will be a fix in it for launch, whereby I highly encourage low-level players not to engage in any escalation-related activity. You will be immediately booted to the main menu with a delta error. The server is fine, I promise you, and it's just you that are getting booted. So this is meant to be an end game to the end game. This means you gotta reach level 40, you gotta work on your watch, you gotta get a strong build running. Under level 40 should not be acceptable. So right now, this is our solution to maintain server health. So please don't try experiments. Let's just play nice this season.
Yes, and another note on the tokens is that they reset at the start of each season. So that's good to know.
For reasons that will be explained later down the season. I also wanted to make a couple of notes regarding what we observed in PTS and what you can expect for live. So for Escalation, we removed, in terms of rewards, we removed the lower end mats. The reason for this is I don't want players to just spam escalations non-stop. We have other activities, fun activities that I'd like players to engage with. Now we're keeping the high-end rewards, and that is the field recon data, SHD recalibration, and the exotic components, and these are guaranteed drops. Of course, the higher tier you go, the more rewards you get. And we mentioned in the patch notes a substantial increase to drop rates for something that we're going to talk about soon. The substantial increase is so substantial that putting percentages in the patch notes felt funny, but I can say that it's 100% increase in tier 1 up to 300% in tier 3. We wanted drops to be rare in Escalation. We didn't want them to be as rare. So right now, I think we're in a really good spot with them, and we'll keep an eye on it to see if it needs more tuning. And was there anything else in my notes? Nope.
Okay, we can cover, because now we're going to talk about prototype gear, that is this mysterious drop thing that you just mentioned. So a little context for the players who are wondering or haven't played the PTS. What is the prototype gear? Is a new rarity of gear that we're introducing with year 8 season 1 Rise Up season. It's basically a new other level of gear that you can acquire through the Escalation runs. It's not mandatory. It's not something that you need to complete any of the activities and the content that we have in the game right now, but it's something that during the PTS we notice a lot of feedback from the community, a lot of adjustments that we need to do. So before going to the whole prototype gear section, I would like to talk to you, Alex, about these feedback, because we saw a lot of frustrations from the players, but we also through the dev notes that we already shared, we address a lot of them as well, right?
Right. So thank God we did PTS first of all. So no feature comes out perfectly, and it is with the help of the community that we can reach a healthy state for our feature. So yes, prototype gear is something for players that already have everything, to give them something to chase. Now, Escalation, I just figured out on my note. I'm sorry, I'm going back. Escalation, we meant always to ship it with daily targeted loot in it. It didn't get in for launch. It'll be in super soon to help combat the RNG. But I don't blame players for how they felt during the PTS with low drop rates and no daily targeted loot. Now, we also heard feedback from the community that more control would be desired on how you customize your gear to help combat the large loot pool that we have in the game. So we're definitely going to work on a way to recalibrate prototype items. I say a way because prototype works a bit interestingly in our backend system. But yeah, I think with the changes in the daily targeted loot, with the increased drop rates, and we also nerfed the expertise costs by quite a lot, like exotic components required to reach level 0 to 30 have been reduced by 50%. I think these changes put prototype in a way better state than they were at PTS, and will continue updating it as it is.
Yeah, so if you want to know how to get prototype gear, there are basically two ways. One of them is through escalation run. So as we mentioned, we buffed the drop rate so you can get better chances of getting through escalation runs, and also you can upgrade your high-end gear that is already on expertise level 30 to prototype gear as well. The higher the tier of escalation, higher the rewards, and high-end gear can be upgraded through the prototype lab. So prototype gear is intentionally rare. What balance goals were behind making them powerful but limited? We mentioned that it's not required to complete any of the content that we have right now, and something important that we shared through dev notes that is going to be normalized for PvP incursions and raids. So what is the goal here?
So the goal was always to give players something new to look forward to. Prototype gear is not required in any way to finish the current levels of content. That's why we're bringing in escalation to provide bigger challenge, because with the current builds, players were already able to melt heroic, legendary, and the master climax mission. We wanted something cool, something that could create more build diversity. And when I say more build diversity, our caps in terms of, like critical chance and whatnot, they're still in place. But by gaining that extra, because prototype gear goes from high-end gear, stats-wise, from the maximum, goes above that by 1.5, right? By stacking what you previously stacked, that could open up some other places in your build to create new opportunities. Regarding the normalization in PvP, we didn't want to create more chaos. Our team right now is working on PvP changes, so adding prototype gear on top of that with augments and the extra stats, PvP is already a challenge to balance. So let's give the team a decent chance for that. Now for raids and incursions, again, players were already able to finish it with current gear, and the normalization basically makes prototype into normal gear. We disable the augment and we give you the same stat as if you had max rolls for that gear. And the plan for normalizing it, we still want raids and incursions to feel challenging, because there is a plan to update and refresh the rewards that these experiences give you. So by making them easier, I also couldn't put desired rewards behind them. I'd have to put them somewhere where there would still be difficulty. So this is why I wanted normalization for now.
Yeah, and you mentioned the rewards. So one of the changes that we're making to this season is actually to add different rewards to raids and incursions that is called the prototype core caches. So we are adding a new material called prototype cores that you use to level up your augments. So the augments are kind of like a different type of talent, but it's not tied specifically to one gear. It's a shared pool that every prototype gear can have, and you can level up that using prototype core. So if you play raids and incursions, you're going to have a better chance of getting those materials that will help you through progress. Those prototype cores also can be obtained by dismantling prototype gear if you don't need them. All right, so I feel that we kind of cover everything about prototype gear. There's just one extra topic that I would like to...
I have one note, Leo. I have one note on prototype gear, Leo.
But I do have something as well. I was about to ask you about the feedback that we got from the community about optimization and recalibration. Is that your note?
No, that's not my note. So for recalibration, again, we heard the feedback. We understand that players want more control. We'll find a way to recalibrate a prototype in some shape or form, and we'll go from there. We'll see how the community feels once we have all of these changes, right? Daily targeted loot and everything else. My note was, I do have a warning for release for prototype gear. Now, if you plan or if you already play a skill build, bear in mind, I'd say hold off on upgrading your current gear if you have it at expertise level 30, upgrading it to prototype. We've played a lot. Skill tier is an interesting stat that we have in the game, right? It has no ranges, so I couldn't. We tried a bunch of things in order to make it interesting for prototype. As we experimented, we didn't quite make it in for launch, but likewise, I expect very, very soon to have a solution for them. So if you have a skill build, maybe don't upgrade to prototype right now. Maybe just go for the rolls for that.
All right, so we cover escalation, we cover prototype gear. I feel that this is the final moment of this stream to like wrap up everything together. So we're adding a new layer of difficulty for players to expand the ceiling of the end game, and we're adding a new type of gear that is the prototype gear. How do you see both of them combined for this top of this 1% hardcore players that are right now looking for a new challenge, and how do you see that evolving throughout year 8?
So I think, because we've also heard the feedback from after the PTS that maybe these systems don't feel finished or whatnot. So we could have spent 8 more months in the lab designing and engineering these features, and I think we would have ended up where we are today. We built this game for the community, so we wanted more challenge and we wanted interesting rewards for people that already have everything. Right? I think Escalation is in a really good place on its own. I think Prototype is in a really good place where it is right now. I think we can improve both of them. And same as you'll see with what's coming up, Retaliation. I'm spoiling everything ahead of time, I swear. We want to make sure that our features are evergreen and they have a lasting power. So I expect tuning and us working closely with the community, as we did right now after this PTS, to improve these systems. Maybe nerf Hotfoot some more. Maybe not.
Really cool. And yeah, as discussed, that is a bit for the more advanced players, but we also have a bunch of seasonal content, and that is more suitable maybe for newer players to begin with. So this season, Black Tusk is launching rapid response raids across the city in response to division activity. So we enter chaos and put out fires everywhere, facing some of the most dangerous units yet from the Black Tusk, because they have elite Black Tusk kill squads now active that can, strike anytime, anywhere. So it's really exciting start of the season. Black Tusk Retaliation.
It's a new thing, and we are super excited about the Black Tusk Retaliation. In case you don't remember what is the Retaliation mode, was something introduced in Year 7 Season 2, the Pact Season. And it's a new game mode that when you complete missions, you kill enemies from a specific faction, they got agitated, they got annoyed, and they eventually retaliate through controlling one named zone. They got all the control points, and you have a timer, and you need to clear all the control points in that specific timer to get blueprints. So this season we're bringing Black Tusk as a new faction to Retaliation mode. When we launched, we only had the 3 factions from DC, the Rikers and the Cleaners as well. Now we're finally bringing Black Tusk. This was one of the feedbacks that we got when we released Retaliation in the first moment. Like, people were like, hey, we want Black Tusk as well. Now it is. Now here it is, and we are adding more exotics to the drop pool of the blueprints for Retaliation. So just a quick reminder that when you complete a Retaliation, there's 2 ways of getting blueprints from exotics. One of them is just by completing the Retaliation or having success with that, and the other is by defeating the kill squad. So each kill squad faction has different exotics blueprints dropping. So we're going to share in the patch notes that will be posted later today the full table with all the exotic blueprints that you can get from each faction. We have some new ones to the existing factions. For example, the beacon the exotic will be dropping from the Rikers. Big Alejandro, one of the community favorite one, is gonna drop from the True Sons, for example, and we have the whole loot pool from the Black Tusk, which includes some of the Dark Zone and Raid exclusives that the community always wanted. Again, retaliation is a permanent feature, and bringing now the Black Tusk is also a permanent addition to the game.
Yes, something else that's new is how the agitation meter fills up, and it behaves a bit differently during other factions' retaliations. So what motivated this redesign?
I mean, back in Season 2, first of all, I'm super happy with the reception of Retaliation in Season 2. Good job, Dragos, the designer that came up with that. Back in Season 2, I remember a lot of the feedback that we got were some of the players really enjoyed Retaliation, and it felt kind of bad to finish a Retaliation then having to do an entire mission or a stronghold on heroic in order to fill up the bar again. So what we did this season was exactly what you described on Ace. We've added this overclock mechanic to the bar. Now you can fill up a bar, and if your plan is to just do retaliation all day, you can continue filling up that bar up to a maximum of 3, so that when you're ready, you can jump into retaliation, finish it, and at the end of it, immediately go into the next one. And this way you can do back to back to back retaliations if this is the kind of activity that you really like.
Yeah, and fighting other factions' retaliation also fills up the Black Tusk bar a bit. So they're on. They're gonna be.
They're paying
attacking.
attention to everything. Yes.
Yes. Black Tusk retaliations can occur in DC and Woni, not Brooklyn. And they can take over control points in the open world if a retaliation is lost, but unlike other factions, they won't expand further through convoys or territory control. And Black Tusks, like you said, are new to retaliation, but they are here to stay. However, this season they are joined by elite kill squads, and they will disappear when the season ends, so season exclusive. Defeating Black Tusk kill squads give you a chance to earn blueprints for several rare exotics, including Climax exclusives, as well as Capacitor and Vindicator. And completing a full retaliation gives a chance to earn blueprints for certain Raid and Dark Zone exclusive exotics. So the Elite Kill Squad, better known as BTSU-9, is more coordinated and significantly more dangerous than regular kill squads. What can you tell us about them, Alex?
In the pursuit of higher challenge, we now have this amazing kill squad that joins us this season. This is a team of highly trained units that should put more builds to the test. They're quite dynamic, and they are composed of a larger range of units than normal. So I can't wait to see how players will deal with this new challenge in the retaliation.
Yes, and completely wiping out an elite kill squad or completing a control point during retaliation can drop a new material. So we have diamond transceivers used for blueprints tied to retaliation. Yes, and the elite kill squads, they also have unique identities, so names and collectible voiceovers, and the entire outfit for them will be obtainable through the battle pass. So if you think they look cool, then this is your chance to grab their outfits. Some quality of life improvements. You already touched on overclocking, so you can, go up to 300%. What was the thinking behind this? What player behavior did this want to serve that we added this overclocking feature?
Just players that like to do more, right? In Summit, you can just do Summit over and over again. Countdown, likewise, you can just do it over and over again. For retaliation, you always had to pause if you wanted to do another one. So we're giving you the chance of maybe today you fill up your bars of overclock, as it is the bars of agitation. for one particular faction and then take a break, maybe come in later and just do them all back to back.
Very nice to have. We also added matchmaking, so matches players using the same global tier. And yeah, the time to collect loot has also been increased from 30 to 90 seconds. And yeah, expiration timer pauses when offline or inside retaliations. So we got a lot of feedback from players on this. Would be a nice addition.
It was very cool to see how much feedback we got from the Pact season and how much of those we are addressing by making those changes to retaliation in this season. And it was just a time frame of like one season between one and the other. So yeah, I hope the retaliation players really love that. It's my favorite mode by far, so I'm super excited.
What do you feel about retaliations, Alex? Are you excited to jump in and meet some?
We got matchmaking. First of all, we got matchmaking and the timer finally stops. I cannot express how annoying it was to me that I'd fill up a bar and maybe I'm too tired for the day, or I don't know, I gotta leave the house for the day. And then coming back to it, having the entire name zone controlled. And I'm like, I also really enjoy retaliation. So losing that opportunity was a very feels bad kind of moment to me. So I'm so happy that we got the change in. So now that timer, as soon as you log off, it pauses completely. It's only in-game time. We still wanted you to have that pressure of don't ignore that faction that's about to retaliate, right? So while you're in-game, please remember you need to do it. But that offline pressure was... didn't need to be there. And now I'm happy that we made this change.
Yes. We have a lot of other things to play with this season because we have a bunch of seasonal, modifiers coming to the game. The seasonal modifier introduces a wide range of possible combinations, offering deep layers of optimization for most dedicated players to seek to refine their builds and strategies. So the global modifier is called recombinant, and it's built around 3 modules, so offense, defense, and utility. You start equally weighed 8 times 3, and this is a stable start. You know, you can start here and test it around, but as you progress, you can actually redistribute these stacks.
Yeah, and as always, we have the active modifiers, the ones that you can activate during combat. We have 3 this season: the Blackout Pulse, the Cloud Armor, and the Optimize Overload active modifier. They are all starting at level 1 and they can go up to level 5. When they reach level 5, they have a special ability being unlocked by that. For example, Cloud Armor is all about defense, so when you activate it, creates a support field that restores armors from the allies around you, so it's like an instant restoration of armor. And when you got to level 5, that's when you also blind the enemies. So you can upgrade all of them. They go from 1 to 5, and when you upgrade them, actually you're adding more modules to your global modifier. So no matter if you're upgrading the offense or the utility or the defense, you're gonna get all the stacks in all the 3 modules, so you can play around with them.
Yes, and then we have the passive modifiers. So these don't give you an ability, but they change how your offense, defense, and utility stacks behave. So we have 34 available ones.
34.
So, yeah,
yes.
It's insane. So the combinations are, well, math. You can equip the multiple, and also think about that, like where you place them makes a difference. So test around and have fun. You get them by seasonal journey or by the vendor at the White House using BTSU firmware. So yes, new currency. This is earned from seasonal journey and scouts. It's used to bypass the modifiers, and it's available at a shop in the White House next to the specialization NPC Coop Dennington, also known as the Quartermaster.
Alright, and also finally we have the hostile modifiers as we have every season. We have one called System Drain, Inversion Field, and Obstructed Virus. If you're coming back to the game, I know that a lot of players are coming from like They played in 2018, 19, 20, 21. You can see now on top of the some of your enemies, you can see, for example, the purple one. It has one modifier mark, and each one of them, there are 3 types. They have unique gameplay related to that. So you need to understand how they behave in order to make better tactical decisions to your combat. Alex, this is a lot of modifiers. This is some people think that they need like a sit down in a classroom and learn all of that, but it's complex in terms of like very a lot of combinations, a lot of possibilities. But we meant to make it in a very intuitive way, simple as well, because you just play around and you see how your stats go up and down, right?
Oh, I can't hear you. Can chat here?
Bit.
Ah,
Hello?
Here
Yeah, we
go.
can hear you now.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool. So I was saying, I promise we're not evil, and we're not trying to make anyone go back and restudy algebra. But when you look at it, face value, right? 34 passive modifiers. That sounds like a lot. That feels like a lot. That it kind of is a lot. But bear in mind, you don't have access to all of them as you start the season. Actually, you don't have access to any of them. You'll get this resource, the BTSU firmware, by doing the seasonal journey or by doing scouts. And you go to the special vendor and you get to pick and choose which passive modifier you want to unlock. Now, in terms of the combinations, yes, there are many. Please don't look it up. It's like insane amounts of many, but you don't need that in order to get something out of this. So for example, if all you want is to be able to have more weapon handling added to your build, it's super simple. It's like you pick 3 modifiers from the offense tree, almost any one of them, depends on what you want to sacrifice, but like the decision is straight. If this is everything you care about, you'll see it's a straightforward decision. What we wanted with the system, with the passive modifiers this season, was twofold. We wanted to help out players to be able to pick the weakness from their build and use these modifiers to complement it. And additionally, we did want the system to be easy to pick up, but also provide a lot of depth to anyone that wants to figure out all of the nooks and crannies. So you'll see that there are offense, defense, and utility passive modifiers, and those are pretty straightforward. So if you just unlock those, it'll be quite clear. When you go to the wild cards, I think that's how we last called them, those are going to be the ones that really shift stats around in more complicated ways. If you don't want to interact with them, that's fine. You can go for a simple build. If you really want to push it to the extreme, a tiny bit of math, subtraction, and addition is required.
All right, so we are about to say goodbye to you, Alex. It's been a pleasure to have you here. This season has a lot of content. I know how hard you have worked to make it happen. We're super excited for year 8, and this is the first season of year 8. So I would like to ask you to share a final message about how excited you are for all of that, and what players can expect, what this season means to the long road, and how open we are to feedback, because I feel that sometimes people don't really understand how much we read feedback and we take into consideration, and it's been very very cool to see how much engagement we got back from this new moment of Division 2. The PTS almost break records of participation, and we are super happy to see people engaging and helping us making this game better. So yeah, from a game director perspective, what do you think about all of this?
I'm incredibly excited and hyped. So I think year 8 is incredibly ambitious, and it is so ambitious because of all of the love and support that we receive from players. It's been awesome to see the reactions from the 10-year anniversary, all the engagement, all of the positivity. I was screaming at the office every hour as I was refreshing Steam. New peak. So that was super cool to see. With season 1, there's a lot of content. Like, there's so much content, we all need to have a bunch of notes. And looking at my notes now, I've still missed 2 or 3 updates. So apologies. You'll probably have to see that in the patch notes. But I think this is a telling sign of the ambition that we have for year 8. This is only the start of the year, right? And this is what we're bringing to the table. Sure, not everything is, let's say, not everything was perfectly received, but that's why we do PTS, right? We don't make this game for us, we make it for you, and we give you the tools to play it. We listen, and then we adapt. I think we're doing a good job at that, and I think we're going to continue on this route throughout year 8. And as a final message from me, before I go, I think what I also would like to thank you everyone for tuning in, either old or new players in the division. It's been incredibly awesome to see all of this hype. But I also want to say a really quick thank you to the teams that have been working. The amount of content that came out at the start of March and now at the start of April, it's really so much, right? With realism, visual upgrades, Division 1, now with Escalation and the prototype gear, and we're bringing in Black Tusk and the Elite Kill Squad. It's really a lot. I even forgot about the seasonal modifier for a second. Imagine it's that much. So you usually see Yannick's face or my face or the community, sometimes someone from design, code, or art appear. But I'd really also want to give a shout out to the unsung heroes. And I'd like to start with audio, because whenever we have the Christmas season, right, we have that awesome login music, or the Halloween as well. They usually come in last in game development when it comes to notifying them that we need audio. So it's only fitting that we start like this first. I want to give a huge shout out to QA and DevTest for making sure that 99.95% of the bugs never reach your screens ever. Also, I'd like to shout out to production for keeping order in this chaos. And they're probably so busy right now, they're not even seeing this. And I can go on, right? But at the end of the day, it's incredible what we've managed to achieve during these last 2 months. I'm incredibly impressed by the team. So thank you to everyone at Ubisoft Romania, at Massive, and at Ubisoft Reflections for all of your hard work. I think players are in for a blast. And one more thing, and I checked with Yannick, and I can say this. I can't read chat, so I'm not sure if anyone mentioned this. But if anyone wrote in chat, PvP changes, when is PvP coming? It wasn't this season, agents, but very, very soon, that season will come. So thanks so much, everybody.
All right, and thank you, Alex, for taking the time to joining us and for talking to the community here.
Bye. Thank you.
My
See
pleasure.
you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
结束了
Yeah, we
Those
can
off,
take those off.
so I don't have to hear myself.
我会把内容整理一下，然后贴出来。
We're moving on to through the
感觉没掉。
season and looking at gear next. So we have some new gear for you. First off, we're gonna have a look at the Royal Works brand set and Agitator Exotic AR. So the bonuses here, they change when holstering and swapping weapons.
还没完，还
For
没
the
完。
Agitator,
还有
when
新装备。
holstered, it generates 50% less threat when shooting, builds up while holstered for 10 seconds, and then gives a big burst of fire rate and damage when swapped to, but it makes the enemies focus on you more when used. The bonus lasts for 20 seconds and ends when you swap off early. Royal Works, it boosts handling, mag size, and crit damage the more items you equipped. The chest rewards weapon swapping when with a strong short damage buff, and the holster gives extra damage while in cover. Really cool. Next up, we have a core strength gear set and the investor exotic mask that you can see here on screen. So core strength, it turns your build into a hybrid. Each core stat boosts the other, making weapon, armor, and skill stats all scale together. The chest greatly amplifies this effect, and the backpacks adds extra core flexibility. The investor mask gives bonuses based on its minor attributes. So the red boosts crits damage, yellow boosts skills, and blue gives armor regen, letting you stack power depending on how you roll it. And then for the climax mission, we have the Whiplash Exotic Pistol, and this is guaranteed on your first completion. So when we get closer to the climax mission, you will get a close-up of that as well. Next up we have Season Pass.
Season Pass, yes. We have changes, right?
We do. We have some Black Tusk. Here you go. Black Tusk Elite Squad cosmetic rewards. So we saw the Elite Kill Squads before. This is their outfits. So if you want to grab them, then play the Battle Pass. We have a lot of premium track rewards. I usually read them. I'm going to take a big breath of air.
Yes, please don't lose your voice.
Yeah, we should have a voting if people want to hear this list, but let's do it. 2 prestige arm patches, the Black Tusk drone skill VFX, the Black Tusk kill squad clean hands outfit, and also a Stitch outfit. Agitator exotic weapon, the Constellation exotic weapon skin, 10 gear dice, 10 universal weapon skins, and 400 premium credits. For free track rewards, we have 3 arm patches, Black Tusk Seeker Mine Skill VFX, Black Tusk Kill Squad Car Bomb outfit. I want to see that one. That sounds cool. The Agitator exotic weapon, so we have an extra one there. The Investor exotic mask, the Star Sign universal weapon skin, 2 named weapons, 2 named gear, and 1 brand set. And on top of this, you have multiple caches to unlock through when you play. So a lot of cool stuff. As mentioned when we talked about classified assignments and how to grab those, we do have some changes to the seasonal bundles this season, just because the classified assignments has been added. So the Season Pass bundle now includes the 2 classified assignments of the season, alongside premium track rewards, 20 tier skips, a 15% XP boost, and an outfit, while keeping the price at 30 euros. As part of this change, the premium credits were removed from the Season Pass bundle. But we also have a new bundle, so the Rise Up Supply Drop. This one is a great value for players who are looking to get some premium credits this season. And it includes all items just mentioned, but also 5,000 premium credits, and that cost 50 euros.
All right, so we still have one extra topic to cover here. Something new for the community, something that is coming to the community with Year 8, something that we've been planning for a while. It's something called Bug Reporter. So we're trying to increase the transparency and making sure that you guys know where to report bugs and what is the prioritization, the status of our bugs. And for that reason, we are launching today the Bug Reporter 2. That is a feature that has been used for other Ubisoft games, and now we're bringing to the Division 2. So what is that? You can go, you're going to have a link and you can read the FAQ later, but basically it's a place that you can report bugs, you can upvote the bugs that are more important to you, and will help us prioritize, and you can check the progress of the bugs, the issues, as you would do on Trello, but now in a larger scale. So now we have all the community working together, and this is a bigger thing than just like a Trello with a few issues. So you can see all of them, all the reported issues by the community present here. You can report a new issue by first writing the title, and then you can select the category, the frequency, the platform that you're playing, and you can add the steps to reproduce, so you're going to help our team to understand how to fix it. You can add all the context that you need, and you also can upload videos, pictures, screenshots, even URLs like links of YouTube videos or something. So all the evidence that can help us to understand what is wrong and how we can tackle that. In the end, the community can click on those bugs and upvote it. So the most upvoted issues by the community are going to get more priority from us, because we understand that this is important for you to get fixed as soon as possible. So our idea here is to improve our system to be better on fixing issues, and also increase transparency, so you know what's being fixed, what's the status, and you can report yourself what is affecting your gameplay, your routine. It's also important to mention that if you report something that has been already reported, instead of creating a multiple version of that, it's just going to add one extra upvote to that issue. So we are super excited about that. The links will be available in our socials very soon, and will be available in the patch notes. The Trello will be updated with the link. So the Trello will no longer be updated, but now you have the bug reporter to follow the most critical issues from the live game. And yeah, I think that's it from us.
Twitch drops.
Oh, Twitch drops for sure.
Don't forget about Twitch drops.
I forgot about Twitch drops. I know I shouldn't. I know that you guys are here on Twitch right now watching us. So Twitch drops. We're gonna have a new Twitch drops campaign starting tomorrow, April 2nd, and we'll go on until April 9th. So if you watch, if you like to watch Division 2 content from your favorite creator, shout out to all the creators who are co-streaming this stream right now. I know that you're there, and we have 5 different rewards for 4 hours of Twitch drops. We know that we have Resurgence with Twitch drops. We have Division 2 Rise Up Twitch drops. It's a very intense and cool season week to be a Division agent, because we have so many things happening at the same time. So yeah,
and Black Tusk themed.
It's
really
Black Tusk.
cool.
We're bringing Retaliation with Black Tusk, so it's all related to the Black Tusk.
Yes, I see that you always ask if we have them active, but they start tomorrow, so we don't have any Twitch drops active right now. So yeah, tune into your favorite streamers streaming the new season tomorrow, and you will be able to grab them.
Yeah.
I think that was it, but we do have more surprises coming this season. There's stuff coming up that we can't just talk about yet. There will be more streams covering it, so we will see you soon. And as mentioned before, Resurgence will take over once we sign off, so stay tuned for that. I know for a fact that they have Twitch drops active, so if you're looking to grab some today, then stay tuned extra for that. If we did not make sense, or you came in a bit late watching, then we do have a dev diary to summarize this season coming up just when we say bye. So have a look at that and enjoy Rise Up.
This season, Black Tusk goes on the offensive. As they retaliate, their elite forces will bring chaos across DC and Manhattan. For agents ready to push their limits further, the endgame ceiling is raised with the toughest game difficulty to date, and a new equipment rarity is introduced to push power to new heights. This season also celebrates the return of classified assignments, new gear and rewards, and so much more. Gear up and push back. It is time to rise up.
Black Tusk are now part of the retaliation system, unleashing relentless waves of attacks the moment you push them past their tipping point. The system itself has also been improved. As you build pressure by eliminating hostiles and completing missions and activities, the agitation meter can surge to 200 and even 300%, triggering up to 3 consecutive retaliations for a much more intense experience.
On top of regular kill squads, BTSU Team 9, an elite squad, will occasionally hunt you down during retaliations. They are made up of some of the top operatives the Black Tusk have to offer and are closely tied to this season's manhunt. Defeat them and defend your territory, and you might earn some of the game's most coveted exotic crafting blueprints, including the Ouroboros, the Eagle Bearer, and more.
And to ensure every agent can push back, matchmaking has been added to retaliation, giving you the backup you need when the pressure rises.
This season's global modifier is Recombinant, a customizable stat system built around 3 modules: offense, defense, and utility, giving damage, armor, or skill-focused bonuses based on your stack distribution. They start evenly balanced, and it's up to you to shift their weights via the passive modifiers, which are the core of the system. Each passive works differently. Some boost the stat of one module while reducing another, others change the bonuses given by modules, and wildcard passives introduce more dramatic shifts that can completely reshape your setup. There are more than 30 passives, and the order you place them in matters, because each one influences the next, giving you a wide range of ways to shape your build.
There are 3 active modifiers that grant abilities boosted by the stats on your global modifier. You can level up your active modifier to gain extra stacks as well as additional effects. For example, Blackout Pulse begins as an EMP shockwave that disables electronics and shocks enemies. As you level it up, you gain extra offense stacks, which increase the radius of the shock. Leveling up can also give extra bonuses, such as reducing cooldowns, which is affected by your defense stat, or adding a pulse effect boosted by your utility stat. Hostile modifiers work in a similar way. Enemies can temporarily reduce, disable, or even invert your stats, keeping every fight unique and unpredictable.
When it comes to the endgame, we know some of you have been asking for a tougher challenge. Escalation is our answer, a brand new difficulty that takes main missions and strongholds to a whole new level. Escalation is split into tiers that steadily increase in difficulty. Higher tiers feature stronger enemies and better rewards. Some tiers also introduce mutators, giving enemies new abilities and adding unpredictable twists to every fight. To enter a tier, you'll spend tokens, a new currency earned by completing runs, with the easiest tier being free, but choose carefully. There are no checkpoints, every attempt carries the real risk of losing your tokens. To make sure agents can rise up to the challenge, matchmaking is available at every escalation tier, making it the perfect opportunity to team up and to take on your favorite missions at their absolute hardest.
To make escalation runs worth the effort and to help you progress through its tiers, we're introducing a new gear and weapon rarity. Prototype. Prototype gear is the most powerful equipment we've ever released. Every piece comes with at least one terminal attribute, the strongest possible version of a stat, going beyond anything available on high-end items. It also comes with an augment, a special effect that can enhance things like crowd control duration or interact with other stats. Augments level up as you use the gear in combat, increasing their impact over time, and can also be rerolled at a cost. Prototype gear can drop during escalation runs, and higher tier offer better chances of earning them, but drops are intentionally rare. We want these items to feel truly special. You can also upgrade your existing high-end and gear set items in the Proto Lab, so your current builds aren't replaced, they're pushed to new heights. Exotics aren't a part of the prototype rarity, at least for now.
In this season's pass, you can look forward to some of the unique outfits of the Black Tusk Elite Squad that you'll face during retaliations. Similarly to the seasonal modifiers, this season's gear set, core strength, and exotic mask, and Vesture are about changing cores and attributes on the items in order to get further bonuses matching your playstyle. This season also introduces the Royal Works brand set, the Agitator exotic rifle, and the Whiplash exotic pistol, which will be the reward of the climax mission. Their talents will give different bonuses depending on how you holster or swap your weapons, giving you new ways to plan your loadout and combat flow.
As you know, we're very excited that classified assignments are back in the Division 2. This season launches the mystery of the Lost Agents, which will have you tracking anomalies on the SHD network in search of your lost colleagues. Each assignment brings you closer to the truth and to exclusive rewards as you explore new locations. The Library of Congress, where your investigation leads you to protecting the nation's history from the True Sun's threat. And the Capital Globe offices, available later this season, where you infiltrate an outcast printing operation that's producing poison materials designed to spread a deadly toxin.
To celebrate this year of change for the Division 2, tune in to our partner Twitch streams and earn exclusive Black Tusk themed rewards as we prepare for the battles ahead. As you can see, this season is one of our most action-packed to date. And with even more events and surprises on the way, now is the perfect moment to try new builds, elevate your gear, and rise up against the Black Tusk.
好，感谢收看。